We're going to spend the next few minutes talking to Rob Sweet, who says, because I asked him off camera, how did you choose Ashleigh's Hearth and Home? And he had a very direct answer. Tell me, Rob, when you were considering putting the pellet stove into your house, why you selected Ashleigh's?
I selected Ashleigh's because I knew of their reputation. I knew that they sold quality products and they stood behind them.
Let's go back and talk about what caused you to think you needed to have a pellet stove to begin with.
So my wife and I bought the house. We just had an open brick fireplace, and we would burn wood in it here and there, and we just found that there was more heat going up the chimney than coming in the house. So at that point we decided to look into what our options were for an insert, and pellet stove insert was an option, and that's what we chose to do.
Why pellet stove as opposed to the other options?
We looked at wood, and we thought about doing a wood stove insert, but the work that came with getting the wood and stacking it, chopping it, and all that just didn't seem too appealing. So we looked at our other options, and pellets and gas were our two. We don't have a gas line in the house, although it is available.
Right.
But pellets seemed like a real good alternative.
I think people have the idea that somehow pellets may be more expensive than gas or wood, or than gas, but that's not the case, is it?
No, I found that they're less expensive, actually, and it saved us money over the years. Especially, we have an oil-burning furnace here, hot water heater, and it certainly saved us in our oil expense.
So, Rob, is this easy to use? How do you put the pellets into the stove?
Yeah, it's really a piece of cake, Alan. It has a hopper right on the top.
Oh yeah.
Fill it once a day, and it'll burn for all day long. And that was one of the reasons we got this.
And it's self-feeding?
Self-feeding, yep. Has an auger that feeds it right down into the burn pot there at the bottom. And it was one of the reasons why my wife and I got this is in years past when we burned wood, if we left it for a while or if we started it and it went out, it went out. Now you load it and it burns all day long.
Yes, yes. Okay, and actually, Bill was telling me that you'll be glad to know this, that the cost of pellets has come down.
That's fantastic to hear. Was
one of the considerations, Rob, safety, family safety?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I wanted a product that was going to be safe for my family.
Yes.
And this product is all concealed. There's nothing that's going to pop out, any hot embers or anything. It has some fail-safes on it, so if it happens to malfunction, it'll shut down automatically. And I know that I can leave this and not worry.
Rob, what about the installation?
The installation, when the crew came in to install this, they did a great job. They were very efficient. They even went to the extent of laying out tarps and everything, so they didn't mess anything up. And it was a breeze. They were great.
So Mrs. Sweet was happy as well?
Very happy.
When you took a look at the prospect of doing this, the pellet stoves, did you shop any of the big box stores? No, we didn't. I have a local business here in town, and I like to keep my business local. And I knew the reputation of Ashleigh's, so that was the first place that I went to. And I also knew there I'd get the service and the attention that I probably wouldn't get at a big box store. Rob, over at Ashleigh's they have this enormous selection of possibilities. So why this particular brand?
Well, we were somewhat limited with the size of our hearth.
Ah, yes.
So when we were given our different options, we were shown this model. I did a little bit of research. I found that it was a highly rated model, and we chose it. It's the Avalon Newport Bay model, and we're very pleased with it.
At Ashleigh's Hearth and Home, we pride ourselves in being the #1 source for fireplace products in the entire Hudson Valley. We have a huge selection of stoves, fireplaces, inserts, and accessories, both contemporary and traditional, for wood, gas, pellet, coal, and electric. You name it, we have it. Our knowledgeable and friendly staff is here to answer all of your questions. We stand behind all our products and installations with years of expertise and continuing education. Stop by on Route 9 between the Culinary Institute and Marist College and see how Ashleigh's Hearth and Home will warm your heart and home.
I've known Bill a while, and we were out cruising, and we stopped in at Ashleigh's, and we went in, and we were just looking, and the salesman persuaded me, and the next thing I know, we were walking out and we just bought ourselves a fireplace. That was the first one.
Okay.
And then I wanted a second one, and where else to go but Ashleigh's?
Yeah, because you're so happy with the
Yes,
service
I
that was
was.
rendered. I've seen a lot of stoves in my work with Ashleighs. I would have to say that this is one of the nicest setups that I've seen. It truly is beautiful. It's a conversation piece. It's comfortable to sit in front of. And even though, I said this in the program a little bit earlier, even though it's the beginning of June, there's a little nip in the air.
Yes, there is. It's
Yeah.
a wonderful thing about gas fireplaces. 0 to 30 seconds, you're on. No
Right.
carrying wood, no stacking wood. It's the best thing I've done.
We actually got this one first.
Okay.
We both fell in love with it. I mean, we had a wood fireplace.
And what is this, by the way?
A Mendota insert. You don't have to get the firewood no more. It's remote control. It's easy to start. And if I'm away snowmobiling or something now, because that's how she got the one upstairs, because I bought a snowmobile, so I let her have one upstairs. If I'm away, she can start the fire without me being here, and I feel safer.
And you're not chopping the wood.
Exactly.
Anthony Drago is the go-to guy here for choice making. You know, sometimes, Anthony, you go down to a place like the Coyote Grill, great food, enormous menu. How do you know what to eat? Everything looks so good. And it's the same problem here at Ashleigh's. Everything looks so good. How do you make the right choice? This is where I believe you can help our audience.
It's a very good question. Truly, there is a lot of product in the store, but our sales staff, both very educated, very experienced, and they know to ask the right questions. As an example, we have people walking in the door and may say, I'm here for a wood stove, and as you can see, there's quite a few different wood stoves here. But a few simple questions. Are traditional style, contemporary? And right in the beginning, that starts splitting our offering in half. Then we'll ask more questions pertaining to the actual application, what one is trying to do, what their expectations are, layout of the house, things of that sort. And we narrow it down further, and we always end up with a solution.
What about the choices of pellet stoves versus wood-burning stoves versus gas versus electric versus logs, wood? Yeah, what do you do?
Again, a series of questions. Most people have pretty much set in their head what type of fuel they want when they're walking in, but we do a good job here of also explaining the differences, benefits, pros and cons of all the different fuels that are out there. And certainly there
Are there
are
certain trends that we're
differences.
experiencing now? Are there certain trends? Like 3 years ago, everybody wanted pellets.
Yes.
Because of the oil crisis.
Yes, absolutely. We see a trend right now. Wood has been very popular the last 2 years. Great, exciting news for the industry that wood efficiency has come up quite a bit. Of course, that's part of the tax credit that's out there, which ends in 2010. Pellet and wood have been part of the tax credit. But the wood finally getting up into 75% efficiency is very exciting. That starts approaching.
So you like that?
It's very good for the industry.
It's been a real whirlwind tour that we've taken here. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it from the customers of Ashleigh's Hearth and Home. You've heard it from the excellent staff, Anthony, Randy, Bill. There are many more people here to serve you, Tracy. Now, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit there and think to yourself, gee, I really would like to have a fireplace. Gee, I would really like to have a stove in my home. Gee, I really would like to do this. Well, you don't need to do that. And I'm going to tell you something. There was never a better time. There never is a better time than right now, the present. You don't have to buy anything. You can just come and browse. You can spend a very pleasant half of an hour or even an hour or 2 hours going through all of the choices that are here at Ashleigh's Hearth and Home. We thank you so much. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you so much for being with us for this half an hour from Ashleigh's Hearth and Home. The best source, maybe the only source, professional source that is, for wood-burning fireplaces, pellet stoves, and everything and anything that has to do with alternate heating sources for your home. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you again the next time.
At Ashleigh's Hearth and Home, we pride ourselves in being the #1 source for fireplace products in the entire Hudson Valley. We have a huge selection of stoves, fireplaces, inserts, and accessories, both contemporary and traditional, for wood, gas, pellet, coal, and electric. You name it, we have it. Our knowledgeable and friendly staff is here to answer all of your questions. We stand behind all our products and installations with years of expertise and continuing education. Stop by on Route 9 between the Culinary Institute and Marist College and see how Ashleigh's Hearth and Home will warm your heart and home.